I don't have a creature to have like temporary lockdown ability, but this is a huge amount of damage. Mine, just to make it simple, is the Scooby-Doo song. Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing a really fun deck. We just hit diamond in the previous video, and typically whenever we hit a new rank up, I like to kind of play whatever at that point, even if it's a lower tier deck. Obviously there's very good aggro decks in our meta currently, being Corey Steelcutter, and obviously the Mice deck or the Auras deck. There's a lot of good aggro decks, and this one typically tends to be kind of lower than them, kind of that B tier deck that's really fun to play, and I know we all wish was better, but it tends to be on the worst side, and that is Delirium. Delirium revolves kind of around fear of missing out for the most part. As this says, whenever we have Delirium online, which requires 4 different card types, Delirium changes per card, but this gives us an additional combat by untapping a creature if we attack with it, and then we get to attack again with that creature, and that goes incredibly well with a card like Monstrous Rage, but weirdly even better with a card like Violent Urge. If Delirium's online, that creature then gets double strike plus an additional 1/0. That creature is going to hit for 1,000,000 almost. So if we have Delirium online, we have the Wildfire, for example. This is a 2-mana creature with haste. So if we have 3 mana, we played a Fear, we already got Delirium online somehow, say a Seed of Hope or something, and we attack with this. This already has haste. This will be a +1 for Delirium being active, so it'll be a 4/3. We attack, fear missing out triggers, we target the Wildfire, we cast an Urge that puts that creature to 5, and then that allows us to hit our opponent for 20 exactly, because double strike for 5. So 5 will hit, then that second strike will happen, and then it'll deal 10, and then we'll go to an additional combat where all that will happen again with this one creature that also has trample, by the way. So even if they block, we're still going to get a big chunk of damage through, and the extra 2 from fear of missing out might be able to close it out as well, if we're not already attacking with a Patchwork Bestie as well. So with all that said and done, we're going to cover a couple of other cards that are kind of key. We have Monstrous Rage in here to act as another big pump spell, Seed of Hope to help the Delirium, Breakout to also help the Delirium but give our creatures haste. This comes up pretty clutch in a match where we get a fear of missing out off of it, and that allows us to attack with it, getting an extra combat that turn. The Keen Eye Curator to pick up all the graveyard decks. It also works with Delirium in a weird way, because it gives itself a +4/4 in trample, and then if you have something like an Urge online, that's great, because you don't have to exile stuff from your graveyard specifically, so you can oftentimes keep Delirium online while pumping this up as well. Other than that, we have the Flying Trap that puts counters on things. If we have 6 different types, it will put counters on things and then double those counters, so it becomes a big threat there. We have Light Shatter from the Tarkir set, which is still technically the newest one, even though Final Fantasy is coming out soon. This enters discard 2, help Delirium, and then we have 2 Wrenn and Realm Breakers in here. For the types, which we'll cover quickly, we have Land for 1, Planeswalker for 2, Creature for 3, we have Sorcery for 4, we have Instant for 5, a lot of instants here, but Instant for 5, we have Artifact for 6, and then we have Enchantment for 7. So we can get a total of 7 types in here, so we can meet that second requirement of the Fly Trap. And with all that said and done, we are ready to go in games. We get to go first. That's pretty exciting with a hand like this, so we'll keep. I do have like a non-Magic related question. I've actually been meaning to ask this question for roughly like a month, and I'm not joking. That's just how, like, great shuffler, by the way. The question. What is the question, you may ask? White Source. I don't know if this is necessarily going to be necessary, I don't think, for right now. But the question I want to ask is as follows. What is the best intro song to a show that you've pretty much ever heard? And I have an answer. I will tell you my answer, but if you want to pause to kind of like think about it yourself a bit, right? You never know, you might have a song that you fancy. Breakout, is a sorcery good enough? A sorcery is good enough. Gains first strike. If you have 4, gains double strike. Cast is Breakout. But what is your favorite song to come out of a game? Or not even a game. To come out of a show of all time? Which can kind of range and vary, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Since my opponent tapped out. I don't have a creature to have like temporary lockdown ability, but this is a huge amount of damage. Mine, just to make it simple, is the Scooby-Doo song. I think it's so good. I don't even, I can't, the game happened so fast I didn't get to ask a question. What am I doing? All right, we've recovered. I now know how to ask a question. Of all intro songs and outro songs, so theme songs, if you would, what is your literal favorite of all time? Or what? It's not your favorite. That's actually a lie. What do you think the best one of all time is? So my stipulations to it was you have, like, the song has to kind of be made for the show, or the show is why it's popular. So having a song, for example, that's already incredibly popular, and then just being like, oh, haha, it's also a part of this show. I don't think that is very fun. I don't think that meets the kind of description that we're looking for right now. But for me, like I said, I think it's the Scooby-Doo intro song, which is kind of crazy. Me and a couple of friends actually talked about it. And the reason we think it's that one is because it's What's a Scooby-Doo, I think, is the actual song name. We all kind of, like, discussed it after. And we're like, yeah, like, every time I hear that, I can't help but, like, sing it or kind of talk about it, or, like, it brings back a memory, right? Like, it is 100% great. Love using a breakout to grab a 3-mana creature. That's always awesome. Oh, man. Now I want to play it. They'll get counters here and get huge. But against the Orzhov Exile deck, I think we're going to struggle. Which is why I wanted to hit, like, a haste creature there. And maybe it even be... It's an exile. Fear of missing out. But hopefully I get some cool things. Somebody said the SpongeBob intro. We kind of said it on Scooby-Doo. I thought the Friends song was good. Like the I'll be there for you. That one, you know. I'm not going to sing, I promise. I ain't trying to deafen anybody around these parts. But we're in. We're going to spread the love. Do I just let them take 10? I think so. They have to respond at some point, right? You know I have a monster trade, so that's what they're trying to get out of me. The end, and you're going to exile those? I only have 2, so I guess I'll allow it. We are going to slug them for like 12 here, though, which is pretty sick. A little part of me kind of wants to monster trade this instead, but I think we can't miss out on like that much damage, right? They're at 8. But yeah, so if anybody has any songs they think are better, I'd gladly love to hear them. Or like, you know, we can take them into consideration, I guess. Brother, I don't need this many monster trades. I guess it's light chatter, pitch 2 of them. I didn't want to pitch 2 of them because they are good. I've had 3 rages and 2 urges that I've put in locations. That's absurd. Oh, you just wait till 2 timeouts run out and then you finally come back? Okay. I see how it is. It's fine. Remove the creature. Ooh, you don't have removal? That's pretty sick. I'm pretty excited about that. I'll play a Kaya or something. Deadly cover up, exile something. Okay. What do we even have in here? They know I have a breakout in hand. Is that what you're exiling? Alright. That's fine. I do get to draw a card here, which is huge. Call that stonks. I'll take any creature along with my 3rd copy of Monster Trades. They probably were like, we can't exile Monster Trades. There's no way they have another one. But you'd be wrong. I have them all. Ooh, I don't even have Delirium here. That's interesting. Get rid of the deadly cover-up so they can't exile anything else. Really just like timed out to come back and deadly cover-up me, huh? You have something. Did you find something? Very interesting. Prevail. We will take that on top, that's for sure. I feel like I'm supposed to, like, commit to this. Here. Do I have enough? I can do artifact. Okay. We can actually do this in a really good way. Our graveyard, we do artifact creature. Then I exile a card from their graveyard, and I do a land, which will then make the curator large enough to win without committing a spell. Oh, we get there while talking about Scooby-Doo. I don't know what my problem is today, but cool. We'll move on. Hand is like so bad. I'm going to keep. Just because the mana is so good. Like when you have two Gorges and you have a way to get rid of them, it's like, it's so hard because the mana is so good. All right. Hey, listen, I talked about the mana being good. Doesn't mean I need more. All right. Move it out. Get out. So here's the thing. I'm going to build a wall. I'm going to build the best wall I can. Pretty good way to build a wall. But I do need to get some extra card action going on here. I think we lay this up. And quite frankly, just in case these next two cards are lands, I'm discarding 2 lands. Well, would you riddle me that? 2 of them more. So here's the thing. A little part of me wants to be aggressive. Because I'm on the play. I kind of have the tempo. But one monstrous rage on this. And my world ends. But then it tramples over and kills them both anyway. What do? Attack here. I'll be a little aggressive. A little passive aggressive if you would. But 2 lands. Creature, fear, pitch, creature. I mean, this creature's ending up in the graveyard this turn anyway. That's the hard part about all the lands. I was really hoping this would find something like really valuable that I could turn Delirium on. But I don't know if I have the out of playing a fear. Like a fear on that turn too with instead of this would have been fantastic. So if I block here. Okay. No monster trade smile. Wait, I'm allowed to play? Oh, boo! Everybody point and laugh, boo! I guess not point and laugh. Everybody point and yell at them, boo! I'm trolling. Wow, who would have thought I needed another land? I like that my Delirium isn't even close, as I'm going to have 3 lands in my graveyard when I play a 19 land deck. If this is weird, and this is going to fuel the like arena's rigged allegations, but I have I have 22 lands. I'm lying. I have 22 lands in this deck, and I have currently 7 of them in my Delirium deck where I need other type of spells, which is fine. It happens. They're calculating if I'm dead, by the way. But the thing that's so annoying about the whole thing, right, is the fact that if I was playing like Control, I would not have enough lands. You know what I mean? Okay, interesting. You know what? Got it. Got it, Chief. I'll let 6 hit. Sure. Well, I mean, I guess I just don't have a chance. I don't know. All right, well, I guess I can keep a 3-lander. Maybe we won't see 17 more of them. I might be crashing out a little bit. The start to today's video, actually, which is kind of funny, talking about crashing out. I actually had a lot of games I had already played, and I was just like so annoyed with how they were going. I actually went and showered before I came back and recorded because I was just like, if I play any more games, I'm going to put a hole in my monitor, which is like objectively awful, but I said it. So here's the weird thing. If I get rid of this creature, Delirium's on, which might matter. But if my opponent plays a Corey Steel, I have an extra turn, which I might be able to get it anyway. Now, I think with an urge in play, I have to do Delirium now. Right? Right? Like, I have to do Delirium. And this has haste, so... Yeah. Listen, I don't think that's concede worthy. Because you are taking a big chunk, but, like, you are the best deck in the meta. It's like, it's a little weird, because I don't want to play the Surveil Land. I kind of want to cast a Seed of Hope, but I want to get Surveil Land down, because with my low land deck, it's not guaranteed whatsoever to actually find, like, the extra land. All right, this is the best deck in the meta. Let's see if they stick it through. Oh, we do find a land. A little part of me wants to cast Breakout, but that guarantees Delirium next turn. I can break out and do Seed of Hope, but I can also put... No, I have to do one or the other, right? No, I don't. I just put Light Shatter in. Just draw an extra card, and then the breakout still turn Delirium on almost. Well, Sorcery and Instant Speed. These two cards together will do it. But Fear of Missing Out could also get removed here too, which would suck, but... Okay. Maybe not the most impactful one I've ever seen of all time, but... Sure. Play Fear. The land, this Surveil Land is going to do its job by going in the graveyard anyway. And then we can play this Verge, and then I can just cast Seed of Hope. Or end step. We're going to make another one of these. Maybe play Quarry Steel, then do that, and then I just block the Quarry Steel token, I guess. Sure. They probably won't swing it, I guess. Alright. We're just on demon time for my opponent, I suppose. I'll grab the Patchwork Bestie here. My opponent is anti-fun right now, dude. Just bounce, 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 bounce. Here's Fear for the third time this game. I just wish they would remove it. Like, I wish they would just hit it with the removal spell. Stop bouncing it. I like my card. I want it back. That'd be kind of funny. Oh, just double Quarry Steel? Sure. I don't know how I'm supposed to beat this, but I'm going to try my little best. Uh-huh. Sure. Yeah. Alright. Does Monster Trades kill me? +4, +3. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh yeah. Super dead. Sure. Alright, well that doesn't kill me, I guess. Even the Seed of Hope didn't necessarily save me here. This kind of sucked at my Monster Trades. Like, I guess I should have just blocked one of these, right? Like, it sucks that Monster Trades doesn't save this, but... Fire this off. Let's land. Alright. What are the odds? Tell me the odds. I don't know them. Get 2 attacks. Oh, wait. Yo. We might be clutching up right now. Guess I would like to put that on the battlefield. Get rid of this. Not ideal. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah. Let's move to combat. Untap. Untap. See if they block it all. Monster Trades here. And then now this should be lethal because they didn't block. Which I don't think their block did anything. Don't know how we did that. But we got there. Very cool. Very sick. We just died on Monster Rage. But, you know, our Monster Rage wins us the game. So that's only fair. Did I talk about beating Corey Steele just to get slammed by Corey Steele this game? Probably. Who's to know? Me, apparently. Apparently, I'm supposed to know. But my last opponent played this town ain't big enough, which... Block. Can't block, boss. Spell Pierce, maybe? That'd make a lot of sense. To an extent, because I just play creatures. So it's not like Spell Pierce really gets you anywhere. Maybe it's a bounce spell. So if that's the case, I'm going to be mana efficient. Play this 3-2. Could be Burst Lightning as well. Burst Lightning will answer this 3-2, but that's also kind of a trap. Because this 3-2 in the graveyard turns my Delirium on. Or doesn't turn it on, but makes it very close. I guess it actually does turn it on. Well, how would this work? When this resolves, there are 4 more. So this would resolve and then turn Delirium on. My opponent stop having Flood Mauls every time. So now, oh, Seed of Hope's pretty good. Seed of Hope can get us there. So if we play this basic forest, we'll get the Verge online anyway. Oh, pretty important. Grab that out. Delirium's up. Here. Here. And we have one of the better cards at like closing the game out, because that's 8 damage counting. That's damage counting. Stock up. Yes. They do have to cast one more spell, and they already played a land if they want Corey Steele to trigger again. So, interesting spot, that's for sure. 2 good ones, I presume. Sleight of hand. Will they do this? They can actually not move it, then they choose not to. If they attack with that, I believe I'm supposed to block it. Like double block here. Believe I'm supposed to do that. I'm not sure. Big action. Ah, that's the card we want. Up to 1 target lane control becomes 3/3 with hexproof and haste until a turn. Vigilance, hexproof, and haste until your next turn. It's still a land. Okay. Ren might actually be worth playing here. Weirdly enough, we don't want our basic to go away, which is kind of awkward.
My roots touch.
Gives it haste, so it doesn't matter. Here.
Allies everywhere.
Combat.
Stand with us.
Might have to use this as a combat trick. When maybe they try to monster trace me or something. Oh, he's scared. Okay. It kind of implies to me that maybe their hand's not that good. A blocking there, but who knows? Maybe they know a lot more about Delirium than we lead on, right? Because that's the thing, is a lot of times the people that lose this deck aren't really entirely ready for this card most of the time. Break Hatcher. Okay. That all resolves. Here. We see an attack here. No. Alright. Well, that gives me a lot of information. Alright, maybe there's a bounce spell here. I think kind of makes sense to me why there's a hesitation here. Oh, thankfully we did it. Oh, another land. It didn't matter. Here. It gives it haste, so it doesn't matter. Mill 3 cards. Put a permanent card from among the mill cards in your hand. I ain't fitting to do that right now. Fitting to build up.
Break free and fight.
Here and here. Combat. Opt. Okay. We'll see how they block here. We could blow them out if they block in an optimal way. because again, our land can technically still tap for mana. Sure. Maybe not sure. Sure. Oh, this is actually huge. Wait a minute. This will give this double strike and we'll actually slam this thing. I think it's always better to remove a creature first and then have the other damage go through, which, like, I guess that would get removed first, but that's the more important one of the two. And then 2 more damage and damage the face. We lose our creature. They're all down. So it's like weird because there's still just such a good deck that it's hard to like do what we want. But now they have creature, instant, sorcery, and we have land, and we have plenty of them. So we could turn this into a 7/7 too. You can answer my Ren probably. They have to kind of do it quick. They also don't buy a card back with the Storm Chaser's talent this turn. They're going to struggle to find a card ever because of their Keen Eye Curator. Or they knew that. They popped my boy. How would they do that, dude? Mill. Oh, that's a good one. You get them when you may play lands as permanent spells from your graveyard. I mean, I guess we're plussing here, right? Make it this one. We'll do this one.
Fight back.
Discard nothing. Act like this. No, dude. So many 1-mana spells and lands, and we missed. Sure. But this ulting, that's going to be pretty sick. All right, never mind. We don't get to do that. I really thought we were in the deep there for a while, especially after they stock up, and then they were like, pass. And I was like, oh, all right, we good. All right, so here we are with the deck after that's all said and done. And I will say this much. This deck does, whenever you're hitting the peak, right? Whenever you're at the deck's height, it just slams. I mean, I think game 1 is a perfect example of that, especially against Omniscience. You get to kind of have that free reign. Obviously, you have the Curator to take out most of their important stuff, which is great. But I think the main thing that this deck does, because of a card like the Violent Urge, we're allowed to just bully our way through that matchup, especially if they're unable to interact or they tap out and they think they might be safe. If we have Delirium online with the fear of missing out, it's just so quickly over with this card. But I do think we struggle against mono red. The mice are just too good. It's almost like... It's crazy that this deck is so low to the ground, but somehow the lower to the ground deck goes way over the top of us. Don't know how that's allowed, but you know, that's fine, I guess. They just play a 1-mana spell and a 2-mana spell and they automatically win the game. So we won't talk about that anymore though. But I will, I guess. I don't know if the game's in, but I will say at the very beginning, if you're thinking about ever playing this deck, I will say at the beginning, I played against red on the draw. I won because their hand was bad. And then I played against mono red again. Lost because I'm on the draw and they just played a scamp and then flung it at me. And then I played on the draw again against red. Lost to like a Manifold Mouse and a Heartfire Hero. Just died to that plus a Monstrous Rage and got put to 6 on turn 2. So that was cool. And then Arena asked me if I enjoyed my gaming experience. And I was like, yeah, man, I'm having a lot of fun. This is great. I love being on the draw 3 times in a row against mono red. Playing a Delirium deck that is obviously inferior to it, right? So it sucks whenever that comes up. And I don't want you to have like a misconstrued idea of what the deck's going to do when one of the best decks in the meta just kind of packs you in. Like, it just bullies you, and it's kind of tough. But I beat Corey Steele twice or 3 times. I think it was twice. I'm not sure. I beat it 3 times. Because there was an instant concede, a game, and a game. and we got there somehow regardless, which was pretty sweet to like be able to beat that matchup. But I think because this game is a turn slower for them, because they do have to kind of tap out to play Corey Steele, which is obviously a lot better against some of the other mid-range decks like, you know, Mono Black or the discard decks, because you just can't beat that. Where we get to kind of go large with every single creature, and their removal is not necessarily as good as it was. And especially like a fly trap, we didn't get it in those matchups, but the amount of counters I can move around with this card makes it very hard. Ren actually showed up in that match, was huge. So with all that said and done, I do think we have good odds with the meta currently standing. I just think you're going to have very frustrating games against Mono Red. You're just going to have to like eat that and just move on if you want to play this deck. But overall, I think it's fine. It's really fun to play. It's one of the more fun decks to play, because you feel like you're actually taking a lot of game actions to kind of earn your win, you know. But with that said, I hope you all enjoy regardless. Hopefully my crash out wasn't too bad. But with that said, I hope you all enjoy, and I'll catch you next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.